Have you ever gone through that feeling कि सामने का वही लोग के पे गला ठाड़ी एक चोर मारो?
I about 10 times a day. 10 times a day, and ask my people who are on the jeep with me. We've done Duare Sarkar, and the central government has done Duare CBI, Duare IT, Duare NIA, and Duare ED. There are 4 programs.
Okay.
And they wanted to know the price of my sarees. So my boys said that Didi gets her sarees from the weavers. So the same saree is more expensive in the shop. The guy picked out one expensive. He said, this can't be 2,000. So my chap who was showing the cupboard said, well, she does have certain good ones that she wears to pujas, doesn't she? Of course it's a dictatorship. What else is this? But there's no level playing field where everything is controlled by one party and one person. What else is it called? On June 4th, I'm going to get up there. We have to get up very early because the counting agents have to be put in. So, and then it's just a question of counting how many votes I win by.
Oh. Finally, I found Mahua Moitra and her campaign has begun. It's 10:30 and she has already started her campaign. So, yeah, let's see. The whole day is here on this campaign trail, and hopefully we'll get a chance to speak with her as well. If this is election, the rush is all about the fun, and the fun is all in the rush. We missed a convoy initially, and now we are trying to catch up with the convoy. I've just progressed from the bike to the vehicle. People ask me, why do you try to stay fit? I say, because someday I have to do this. So what's your source of energy?
Sex.
Oh. So what's your fitness quotient? Working out?
I work out a lot, I run a lot, but I've had a huge surgery in January for which I haven't totally recovered. Ashirwad karo! And I haven't totally recovered, so I'm not yet working out. So I'm feeling a little unfit, but hopefully by May I should be okay.
Okay.
You get all these snarky comments on Twitter which say, oh, look kothay, there's no thing, but I'm not interested in busing in 500 people to cover both sides of the road. I'm going to their doorstep, they're coming out, it's much better.
Are you giving me a breaking news that you care what happens on Twitter?
I don't give a shit actually.
And that's the reason you also follow very less people.
I follow only 3, Mamata Ji, Abhishek and the party.
It was 2 couple of days back, it has now gone up to 3. I'm sorry, I keep a tab on everything.
There you go.
Yeah, so your silence is the answer.
Yes, I'm covering 3 now.
Okay.
There was a time I used to cover only 1 who was Mamata Ji, then I covered the party.
Okay, okay. अकलमंद के लिए इशारा काफी है, आपने कह दिया.
লক্ষ্মী ভান্ডার ঢুকছে তোমার লক্ষ্মী ভান্ডার পাচ্ছ মা লক্ষ্মী ভান্ডার ঢুকছে I never say vote for me. I never say that.
You never ask for votes.
I don't know.
আজা জোরে
জোর দুয়াচ্ছে না
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে আর মাদের
Well, I know you don't like talking about religion. I have not really seen you visiting any. Yeah, you don't.
I do it in my private time, not during elections.
But is it any kind of a challenge in your constituency which has got?
Not at all. My people know who I am, and that's it. I believe in Jibe Prem Kore Jai Jon Sei Jon Seviche Ishwar. I work for my people. I do my religion in my private time. I don't need to make a song and dance about it. মা লক্ষ্মীর ভান্ডার পাচ্ছেন আশীর্বাদ করবে
So this question is to the Bengali Mahua Moitra. Do you think Bengalis' way of looking at religion is way different from others?
Bengalis are a superior race. Let's not forget that. Bengalis are a superior race, and when it comes to everything, and for us, religion is we don't confine it to a very narrow meaning. for us, Durga Puja and Ma Durga, she's really Ma, and we see her in all her forms. And she's all-encompassing, strong, yet tolerant, yet loving, yet powerful. And we see her in all her forms. And Durga Puja for us is a religious, social, cultural festival. It is really something to bring everyone together.
I know you're a quintessential Bengali at heart.
Yes, I am.
The way you dress up during Durga Puja, you actually give competition to a child. How many How many
I touch it twice a day. I have to wear a new sari. The last time there were days that I wore 3 saris because I had to have. I had to wear them.
Ole Baba Le. This is the second one you offered to take home. I'm keeping a I'm keeping a count. How many you want to take home?
No, I like them very small because they talk. Once they start talking, then it's small. অনেক কাছে বলে ভীষণ দুষ্টু নিয়ে যান আর প্লিজ দাও
Were you one of those types? Were you one of those types?
My sister was very jealous until she was very happy. Then I came home from the hospital and then she realized I was getting all the attention. So she told my mother, "Abhi baby ko naya baby ko hospital वापस करो."
Hospital वापस करो. Did you feel that kind of a disconnect from being a member of parliament to not being a member of parliament?
There's nothing. Can you see it on the ground? No one's even realized it. This rubbish that the BJP did, nobody believed their bullshit. And you can quote me on that. And B is that for these people, it's a sign of they're just like, Didi is our MP, she was our MP, she's going to be our MP again. There's no question. It's not affected anyone.
You're getting that confidence.
Of course, I've always had it.
Well, I'm super happy seeing this different side of you. I've always seen you angry.
That's because you used to be in times now. Now that you've changed, you see the happier side of you.
As a child, I'm sure you have a memory of a politician passing by from your neighborhood.
No, I don't.
You don't have any
In
memory.
the estates, I had absolutely no memory. I'd never even seen a politician.
I'm sure you.
I've never even seen the politicians. I saw Indira Gandhi's photos in the newspapers. That's about it.
You must have seen something on TV like politicians.
We didn't have a TV till 1985 or 1986, so I don't even remember. We used to watch the Lucy show and A-Team and things like that. So
you ever thought that you will end up here? Something that you haven't seen, never aspired to, and now
yeah, when I was in my 20s, I kind of figured out that I would end up here.
that you will also wear a garland around your neck and then wave your hands like Indira Gandhi, Mamata Banerjee, and
I don't know about that. I don't think I'm anywhere near there. But yeah, I mean, it's part of it. It's okay.
okay. Mahua Moitra's roadshow has just gotten over, but she is now heading to a different program, and you are following there.
I'm falling now.
Next, I'll come. Yeah, go.
কার্তিক ঘোষের কথা বিশ্বাস করো
চুলটা পরে ছিটকে হয়ে যাচ্ছে কেন রব্বরে
হ্যাঁ
চুলটা পরে ছিটকে হয়ে গেছে
কি
চুলটা পরে খোঁচা খোঁচা হয়ে গেছে কেন
রাগী মানুষদের একটু দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে বলে।
না না চুল ওরকম থাকে না
এই যে হ্যাঁ বলে রাগী মানুষদের নাকি একটু দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে।
এই ক্লিপটা তোমার সোমনাথ এই ক্লিপটা কিনেছে
আমি যে একা
দিয়ে 2 টাকা দিয়ে রোজ ক্লিপ কিনছে এই হচ্ছে ক্লিপ
আমি যে তোমাকে একা দিয়ে দিলাম কি হলো
তো মুকেশ দেয়নি আমার সকালে
ছখানা নখানা দিকে মোট
উন্নত মানের ক্লিপ
জেপি সব থেকে ভালো বলেছে
আপনাকে দিয়েছে ক্লিপ আনতে?
হ্যাঁ
আপনি আগে কখনো ক্লিপ কিনেছেন?
আমরা সব কিছু করার লোক।
আচ্ছা, আপনি কি মানে বাড়িতে কারোর জন্য ক্লিপ কিনেছেন?
কার
বাড়িতে কারোর জন্য?
বাড়িতেও কিনেছি,
কিনেছি আমার সব
টিপও কিনেছেন?
সবই কিনি এ টু জেড।
Like all this they did to me, the expelling, the this, the that, doesn't matter to me because I know what I am on the ground. No one can take that away.
I remember that picture of you speaking to the media after your expulsion.
Yeah.
And your eyes were literally red as the border of your sari.
Yeah.
You were angry, hurt,
I was very
disappointed.
angry. I was very angry, and I felt very sad that just one party with a brute majority, with only 37% of the vote, can reduce an entire country to a farce and to reduce all democratic processes to a farce. I mean, my expulsion was an absolute joke, and I felt very angry. And I felt, that that I had to speak out, and put it forward.
Was it, somebody told me this idea was actually plugged into my mind by somebody after your speech. People said Sita ko Agni Pariksha hamesha dena padta hai.
I always say that. I mean, that there's the Draupadi's Chidharan, but where you have Krishna behind her, where her sari never comes off. And we have people behind me. I have people behind me. I have my voters behind me, and it'll never be. You can never. This sari will never stop spinning.
Okay. Sari reminds me. Was it your discretion to go ahead and wear that red and white sari?
No, actually, I didn't know which day would my expulsion. They'd been threatening my expulsion even a week before that. It was on the list of business. So every day there was a threat to bring it on the list of business. So actually, you don't know which day it would actually come. I knew they would do it. So no, I didn't plan to dress up. That was just a sari that I had bought for Jagadhatri Pujo. And because I'd worn it in Nadia, sometimes when I wear these silk saris, I take them to Delhi to wear them to Parliament. Otherwise, I don't like to repeat a sari. I'm very vain that way. So I took this one Jagadhatri sari, and as it happened, I wore it that day. And it was a gorgeous sari. But the problem is that now I've worn it, and everyone's seen it. Now I can't wear it for a long time.
No, I want to go away from the sari conversation. Knowledge is
I
limited.
quite enjoy the sari conversation.
Okay, no.
Tell me.
No, but the picture of yours standing outside the parliament, you're walking in and then you have turned, and that picture has come out where your pallu is almost in the air, and people say that you intentionally have tried giving out the message of Shakti at a time when Shakti was put to test.
Yeah, I have not intentionally done it. I actually believe that all of us Bengali women, and most especially my chief minister and my leader, embodies Shakti. I mean, I'm not trying to say this to be, sort of particularly sycophantic, but I think Mamata Banerjee is the picture of Shakti. She's the embodiment of Shakti. And we enter parliament as her representatives. So when we come under attack, that's when we should not flail. That's the time when we are all put to test. So what they were doing to me, what the patriarchal misogyny was doing to me, and what these fascists were doing to me was when I was put to test. So that's when I have to keep my head held high and embody Shakti.
Okay, and you like talking about that episode because I remember connecting with you then, and you said there is a matter which is sub judice, and your case would be affected if you give out interviews on
At that point, I would be, yes, and I it's still sub judice, and the next hearing is on the 6th of May.
Okay. Now, do you think the situation could have been better handled by all stakeholders?
Nobody else was doing handling. It was BJP's narrative. It was BJP set it up. It was BJP's narrative. Every single person, from the Speaker of the Lok Sabha to the BJP MP who did it, to everybody who was all set up, and in the chairman of the ethics committee, it was all a stitch up by the BJP. It was all a stitch up. So there was, like I said, it was a fixed match.
How come Mahua Moitra becomes such a big threat to BJP?
Anyone who speaks about two things in this government, there are two rules that you cannot break. You cannot speak about Narendra Modi directly, and you cannot speak about Gautam Adani. I broke those two rules. I have had numerous people in the BJP come out and tell me कि अरे आप प्रधानमंत्री के बारे में क्यों बोलते हैं, आप नंबर 2 के बारे में बोलिए, आप किसी को भी बोलिए, प्रधानमंत्री के बारे में कुछ मत बोलिएगा, प्लीज उनको छोड़ के आप सब कुछ में बोलिए. So that's one rule that I broke, and the second is you can't speak about Adani, and you especially can't speak about the Modi-Adani nexus. So when I broke those two rules, that's what happens.
He has also added the word Shakti in his political campaign.
He adds anything with his word Shakti. When it suits him, he can add anything. He'll say Durga in one breath, next minute he'll say Kali, but he won't take action against Brijbhushan Singh. He won't even go to Manipur. So let's forget about what he says. It's of no consequence whatsoever.
Recently he said that timely intervention by his government has salvaged situation in Manipur.
Oh really? Which intervention by what? Which government? By Biren Singh, standing back while the police stations were being looted of arms, when the entire state is being split into two, into Hill and Valley. When have you ever seen that?
So you're winding up early today?
Yeah, because tomorrow's Eid. So I'm going to see my parents today. I haven't seen them.
How long you haven't seen them or met them?
3 weeks or 4 weeks, quite some time.
Has politics taken you away from your family?
Obviously, it takes you away from your family. Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. I mean, physically it doesn't take you away mentally or anything, but physically, of course. I mean, physically you're somewhere else, say somewhere else.
Okay. People do have a perception that politicians have an easy life. You agree?
I mean, that's a joke, right? I mean, people have a perception. People just like to talk. It's like an opinion. Everyone has one. Doesn't mean it has to be worth something.
Okay. By the way, this is Mahua Moitra's kitty. Yeah, her kitty is famous. It's only turned smaller now. Oi to didir bag. Oi jo. When was this picture taken?
It was taken in Kalighat by the party. All our pictures were taken together for the Lok Sabha.
Did they do some photoshopping on the picture?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Yeah, but I like to lose. This is all, what do you call it? I see some photos and they don't even look like me. It's
What?
incredible. Yeah. They do all this photoshopping. But this one, I don't know if it was.
Imagine this switch. Just minutes back, she was on the vehicle, waving at people, meeting people, greeting people on a campaign, and then gets off the car, comes in here, and now literally taking stock of her war rooms.
What are you guys doing?
So some birthday celebration plan is now going on inside, and
Brushing. Come on. Yes, everyone.
Datta much lege geche. You know, this is interesting. Mohadi is calling me and I'm actually following her. For the past so many years, she has always refused giving me an interview.
I always told you change your job after
Oh,
I
I saw your recent interview and somebody asked you something about your personal life and you happily responded to those questions. Is it a new side of Mahua Moitra, like putting out the personal
it's
life?
not. I didn't put out a personal life. I think he asked me if I was happy or something, and I said yes, and that's about it. I mean, I don't think that realm is up for grabs. I mean, we are public representatives. We're not monkeys in a zoo, where everyone has a right to come and sort of look at us from all perspectives inside an open cage. So I do think there are certain lines that need to be drawn.
Because such questions are never asked to a male politician.
Absolutely. I mean, I should have, I should have actually, I thought about that later and I should have asked I should have told that particular correspondent that he doesn't ask all these questions of male poll, but I didn't do it then. I mean, it's one of those things, I didn't do it. But that is the patriarchy. They don't ask a male politician what he wears. They don't ask him what he eats. They won't ask him what his love life is. But they think that women are up for grabs. And that is the very deep-rooted misogyny in India, where even men who you think are liberal, well-educated journalists fall into the same trap without even realizing it.
Male politicians are often asked, "Aam kaise khate?" Aapne dekha?
As though it's a great sign of manliness. So if a male politician were to eat a chosa with a hole and being able to chew the whole thing on its own, it's a great sign of manliness. If a male politician eats a mango without peeling it, it's a great sign of great manliness. I've seen all of that and it makes me laugh inside, but it's also quite sad.
You are a Bengali at heart. You are you are a politician from Bengal. Parliament is in New Delhi. Do you see there is a flawed idea of machismo which is being propagated?
Like I've said, I was an MLA in Bengal before I became an MP. And, I come from a very Bengali ethos, a Western ethos, but at heart, a very Bengali ethos. And this kind of, I would say, very North Indian patriarchy, something was very new to me. And it's only when I went as an MP to Delhi that I saw this side of India. I hadn't really seen this side of India in the circles that we move in, because I'm in a rural constituency where I don't see it, and all my friends and family are not cut from that mold. So when I saw that, I was actually shocked and I felt very sad. And for the first time, I realized what this cowbelt politics is all about.
Have you been a victim yourself inside the
I'm
parliament?
never a victim. I don't like making myself out to be a victim.
But
I'm not a
any
victim.
odd
But yeah, of
situation?
course you see that. Of course you see that every time. It's every time. It's in Parliament. I mean, the entire idea of Parliament where they think female MPs or women MPs have to behave a certain way. अरे आप क्यों चिल्लाते क्यों है ऐसा? आप गुस्सा क्यों करते हैं? Nobody asks any of the men in the BJP कि आप चिल्लाते क्यों है? Nobody asks Biduri आप चिल्लाते क्यों है? Right? Nobody asks anybody else कि आप चिल्लाते क्यों? आप गुस्सा क्यों करती है? So in a man, it's always, and it's been like that the world over. So anger in a man is a very sort of a good quality of authority. For a woman, it's a poor quality. So all of these things, I mean, it's very cliched now. It's very cliched, but it's upsetting. And I feel happy and proud that I'm born a Bengali, and I'm happy and proud that Bengalis as a race have managed to keep that alive, and that our society at least is, hasn't yet been tainted with that poison.
When woman issue is such an important issue, sentimental for all political parties now, something Trinamool Congress has started first with. I've been covering politics for way too long. Do you think a Sandseshkhali episode can be a matter of concern? Have you come across when you are actually meeting with people?
You can go on the road with me. I don't think Sandseshkhali outside of even the Sandseshkhali block has any effect even in Boshihat constituency. Whatever has happened, it's a law and order situation which the state government is looking into. I mean, the narrative that the BJP and the BJP's Godi media has tried to create all over India is that Bengal's in a state of complete emergency. That these marauding Muslim pillagers going sort of village to village and raping Hindu women, and this is not a narrative that's true. It's not a narrative that anyone's willing to buy. And outside of Sandseshkhali block, say, or even those few villages, I mean, the complainant herself is a BJP candidate.
दुआरे CBI. आपके घर में CBI
Yes.
है, हाँ? CBI
So we've done Duare Sarkar, and the central government has done Duare CBI, Duare IT, Duare NIA, and Duare ED. There are 4 programs.
Okay. So when CBI came, were you little
I wasn't even here. I wasn't bothered. They came to my parents' house, and normally people worry about, what do we worry about? We worry that our parents shouldn't be hassled. I'm sure you would be. I would be. Everybody would be. We want to protect our parents. But like I said, my mother's a Bagir Bacha. So she patted down the CBI also to see whether they're bringing anything to plant. And they were very civil. I have to say they were very civil. I think they were almost embarrassed because they knew it is a political case which is totally cooked up. So they didn't misbehave or anything. So they went to my parents' house.
ED
They
has
checked
also
everything.
registered
But I haven't got the CIR, so I don't know. CBI came to this house. They went to my Karimpur house. This is my election office. They went to the next office. And that's it. They checked everything. I believe they counted my saris, and there were 82 of them. And they wanted to know the price of my saris. So my boys said that Didi gets her saris from the weavers. So the same sari is more expensive in the shop. So the shop 2000 taka re mote pore, which is true. Like even this is. So then
Again,
apparently
you're
he
going back to
picked up everyone. So then he picked up, apparently the guy picked out one expensive. He said, this can't be 2000. So my chap who was showing the cupboard said, well, she does have certain good ones that she wears to pujas, doesn't she? So I think they were suitably chastened and went away. So that was the end of that. So, I mean, like I said, I have nothing to hide. They're welcome to
They
come.
literally counted your saris.
They did. They counted my cups and plates. They counted all of that. And they were almost apologetic and said, well, this is part of due process, which I'm sure it is.
Okay.
So no problem.
The scrutiny about your bag, which has been such a big talking point. Have you seen yourself? Like, do you watch your own videos? How you
No,
look?
I don't. I let other people watch them.
You wore that red sari again. You are going back to sari. You are in that different, like temperament, and with all those bags.
There were 3 bags. There were 3 bags.
And
One bag had my lunch, my tiffin, because I knew there was going to be a long process. So I took my lunch with me because I don't like eating that terrible oily canteen food, number 1. So I always carry my lunch. That one was my lunch. Second was my handbag. And the third where I was carrying my papers and the computer bag.
okay.
It was a computer bag in which I had my papers for the committee. So that explains the 3 bags.
And did you
People actually thought that I was carrying shoes and emerald necklaces to go in and show them that this was my loot. So this is the point. When you talk about low point, this is what journalism has come to in this country.
We'll talk about journalists in a little later, but the fact that such allegations were made that you have gotten these gifts, those gifts, again, I would go back to the question, because you're a woman, those
Of course
questions
it
have
is.
come
Of course
easy
it
for you.
is. Of course it is. It's easy to throw all this nonsense. I mean, I remember there were some channels that had these, completely. I mean, I'm not fat shaming or anything, but I mean, exceedingly unhealthy looking anchors who were sitting there with these large emerald necklaces flashing in the back. Mahua Moitra gets emerald necklace, and Mahua Moitra gets I don't even know whatever. So they were all these gifts, and what do you do at the end of it? You just laugh because it's entertainment. It's a media trial. It's a media circus. Good luck to them.
No, but even amongst friends, if I receive a gift.
No, but I haven't received a gift. The beauty of it was I came right out and I said the truth that all I've ever got from my friend was a scarf for my birthday. I've given him a shirt and cufflinks for his birthday, and he's brought me makeup when he comes to Dubai. And my close friends even till today, if they're traveling through a certain airport and there's something I want and they call me and they say, will you bring it? Of course I will, and I do the same for them. And I don't think just because I'm a public representative that I need to be accountable to anyone, least of all the BJP for that. So let's not get into this.
The fact that you have gifted something to your friend, that never became the talking point.
Why should it become the topic? Why will it become the topic point? Because it doesn't serve the purpose. If you're going to prove that Mahua Moitra has taken packets of fantasy cash and huge emerald necklaces and a watch. I don't even wear a watch. I never wore a watch in my life. I don't own a watch. I don't wear a watch. I don't have a So I mean, what do you say? But I even if I did, I would flaunt it. So I don't care.
You are not apologetic about yourself, about your knowledge, about...
I'm far too sure and secure in who I am and what I am. And like I said that to an interview with Barka, that if I'm the first Indian politician who's not apologetic about who she is, and if that's what makes me who I am, so be it.
Do you think that threatens others?
Well, everyone in the BJP seems to be playing a game, because you see all the BJP women and all of them who are, wearing 25,000 saris every day to Parliament, and I wonder what their source of income is. Nobody asked them. I'm not bothered, but I wish they'd look inwards as well.
Talking about democracy, the current trend which is going on, everybody is asking this question: is it democracy or dictatorship?
Well, I know, it's obviously it's not democracy, right? Obviously it's not democracy. How is it democracy? Is a level playing field. How is it level playing field when the election now? Who determines the democracy? The Election Commission is in charge in control and superintendence of all election. Who are the 3 election commissioners now? Who are they selected by? They are selected by 2/3 majority by the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. Yes or no?
Yep.
So each of those election commissioners has been handpicked by the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. Number one. If you even think about the judiciary, almost all of it is compromised. When you think about everyone in every high court, because of the retirement age, is wondering when they're going to go to the Supreme Court. So they're scared to give any judgment because they think it's going to affect their chances of going to the Supreme Court. I mean, nothing I'm saying is in contempt of court. This is a fact. So then you have the media, which is all bought out. Every single media baron, there are 5 media houses which are controlling everything. Each of them have got the stick of the EDI and the CBI and the ED behind them. So what is left when you don't have the judiciary, when you don't have the media, when you don't have the election commission? I mean, can you imagine during an election process 2 sitting chief ministers have been picked up? Can you imagine during an election process, a CBI is coming in on a cooked up case? They are coming in here, that the ED is registering a case and telling the media, I haven't received a copy of the ECIR. So, this is all what we call in Hindi Hawa. And they think they can create this and cow down everybody. So there is no level playing field. If you see the electoral bonds, 8,800 crores the BJP is cashed in. That is more than the double than the 20 other parties put together, right? Now you say, okay, TMC has received money, DMK has received money. Yes, we've received money because there was no other way of receiving money apart from this. But we don't control the ED and the CBI. We haven't told Aurobindo Pharma, please pay up 55 crores and then go and be a witness against Arvind Kejriwal. We haven't told Mega Engineering, please pay up X amount of 600 crores and the next day get a 14,500 contract. Yes or no? So every single company that is paid to the BJP can be directly linked to the ED and the CBI. We don't control investigative agencies, hence regional parties, even if they've received electoral bonds, there's no quid pro quo.
But you won't call it dictatorship.
Of course it's a dictatorship. What else is this? But there's no level playing field where everything is controlled by one party and one person. What else is it called?
How do you plan to break this?
We're speaking up. Look, everyone's got to fight the fight. And whether it's a 2-year process or a 5-year process or whatever it is, we will reclaim democracy. It will happen. Whether we, I don't mean me personally, by we mean the larger we, who are not part of the 37% of the fascist BJP, we will reclaim it. And people will reclaim it. I have great faith in the strength of Indian democracy.
You think that's a possibility in 2024?
Well, in some form or shape, I'm sure it will be. If not totally, I feel in some ways it will be.
You also fear that BJP could win the 3rd term?
Well, winning is not the issue. It's winning with what majority? If they have, it's winning. Last time they won with a simple majority. That brute majority is what killed it. So I think winning with a simple majority and winning with, with 5 allies create there's no balance and check right now. So that's something that we hope will come in the near future.
At least 2 BJP leaders have already said they would try and make the constitution better, change it.
Of course they will. The BJP tries to make everything what they consider better. Whether it is the constitution, whether it is the religious fabric of this country, whether it's social rules, they believe in this thing of a homogeneous, one religion, one mantra India, which is completely against the ethos of democracy.
The Congress manifesto, surprising everyone, has also spoken about LGBT community. Do you think politicians should also take a
Of
standpoint?
course, we have to. There are a huge population in this country, and we've also come out. We came out and we said, we spoke about same-sex marriage, and Abhishek came on record and said that, and that's something that we fought for. I have been personally very involved in the anti-377. We've been getting it removed, and of course, there are vital way about 80 lakh or more. LGBT people who've come out, and that's a huge, probably even more, who've come out in this country. And of course, they have a right to life and liberty. And if you read, when you read the same-sex marriage judgment in the United States, yeah, and it tells you, it says that marriage is such a great institution that nobody wants to be excluded from it. And so when you are excluding such a large part of the population from the rights and privileges of this institution of which they want to be a part, you're denying them a fundamental right. Of course, we are on record on that.
It is surprising because I know the political parties who are opposed to that vociferously. I know of leaders who believe in alternate sex and they are part of those parties. And I have asked them, isn't this hypocrisy? They say, we have no other choice.
But that's sometimes political compulsion, that's sometimes political compulsion. I mean, I'm in a position where I can speak, but I can understand that sometimes you can be in a political party where, you have to toe the line, and I can understand that. And that's actually, those rules apply to everyone. If you're working in a big media house and they have a script to follow, you can't really be that sort of lone ranger.
Do you realize it has only led me to the next question, obvious one? Within your party, there was a time, you can't deny it, there was a time we all knew that there is a difference between Mahua Moitra and the senior leadership. And now you're saying that as a politician, at times you have to follow the script or you make
As far as I'm concerned, the only senior leader in my party was Mamata Banerjee.
Okay.
Right? So I've never had a difference with her. Okay. And any other senior leadership, I'm not really bothered about.
Oh. But again, I say, because you are, you can speak your mind and people consider you smart, have you been a threat to your party as well?
Not at all. I don't believe that. I think Mamata Di previously and now Abhishek have always been very, very loving and respectful, and we've always been part of the same team.
There is no difference between Abhishek Banerjee and Mahua Moitra.
Not at all. We have a great working relationship, and I think he's wonderful in the effort that he puts into strengthening organization. That's something that we really need. He understands organization very well, and he puts a great deal of effort into strengthening it. And I really admire that.
Do you see the future of party with Abhishek Banerjee?
Of course I do.
You see that in him?
Of course I do. Of course I do. I think he's proven himself over and over again, and he's really one of the people, exactly like Didi, taking this sort of one of the few people who are standing up against Modi and standing up against the BJP.
Finally, do you think India Alliance has gone through some bad phase or bad chapter, and had they not happened, things would have been better for leaders like you and parties like yours?
India is a very complex mass, and it's very difficult to stick to a script. So the idea is that we are fighting where we are strong, where each one fights. So the DMK and the Congress together are fighting in Tamil Nadu. The Congress and the left are fighting separately in Kerala. The Congress and the SP are fighting together in UP. The Congress and us are fighting separately in West Bengal. The Congress is fighting alone in certain states. So whichever is the strongest combination is what most people have kind of settled into. And I think under the circumstances, that's the best we can do.
No, but then doesn't it confuse a voter?
No, it doesn't, because a voter is voting in Bengal. A voter is not a voter of UP and a voter of West Bengal at the same time.
Okay.
Right or wrong? So it's not that a voter is choosing between a Congress alliance on one side and it's only political pundits who are looking at states on a statewide basis. A person has only one vote. That person is only having to make one informed decision based on their own state. So a voter in Bengal is having to choose only between the Trinamool and BJP.
Okay.
So to speak.
Okay.
Right?
And how is Mahua Moitra planning to spend her day on June 4th?
On June 4th, I'm going to get up there. We have to get up very early because the counting agents have to be put in. So it's always a bit of a task in the morning, making sure everyone's in, and we have to give breakfast to all the agents, and they get their breakfast, they get their counting slips. So making sure all that goes, administrative work all gets done by 6 a.m. So it's a very early start. Then getting everyone into the booth and making sure everyone's there. Then, you're allowed into the counting center. Election, only 2 people allowed in. So visiting all the rooms, making sure, okay. And then it's just a question of counting how many votes I win by.
Oh, so you're confident you don't have a competition here?
Well, I won by 65,000 last time. And so I'm going to win by more this time.
Okay. This I have to ask in Bengali. Have you ever gone through that feeling कि सामने का वही लोग टके पे गला ठाड़ी एक चोर मारबो?
I about 10 times a day. 10 times a day, and ask my people who are on the jeep with me. 10 times a day, I'll tell them, "Thash correct chorma."
Hash करे एक चोर मारबो. But
10 times a day.
Is there any?
But now it's come to a point that I will start laughing, so then the effect is gone.
The effect is gone. They
Yeah.
don't take it seriously.
Nobody takes it seriously.
And you know, is there any one individual in your life for whatever past जेके सामने देखले मैं ठाड़ी एक चोर मारबो आगे?
No, I have given a lot of people have gotten good thappas. I've also got a lot of thappas from people, but I've given also.
You have given also.
I've given too. I've given rage, not like that, but I've like if I'm in a car with somebody and he's doing something which is really annoying me, I've just slapped his leg like, stop it. I do that quite often.
I won't even take his name because I am principally an equalist and I don't like asking women parliamentarian a question. I can't call you a parliamentarian. So used to it now.
Doesn't matter. I'm getting right back there in 2 months. Don't worry.
So have you gone through the Delhi High Court observations
On what?
on the complainant on Datta? The Delhi High Court has
Which
said that
time?
if you have the right to bring things in public,
But that's basic justice.
Then
I'm glad one judge has had the spine to sit up and say this because
then
the rest of
Mahua
them
Moitra
didn't.
also has the right to.
That's basic natural justice, and I'm glad that one. I mean, it's sub judice, but I'm glad one judge has had that.
How much more is waiting to come to public now? How much is still there to come to public?
What is there to come to public? I don't care. Like I said, my life's an open book.
Okay. Do you pity that man?
Irrelevant to me.
He's irrelevant to you. What he did to you is also irrelevant.
This is not some great thing up for public discussion. I mean, honestly.
Okay. So Mahua Moitra is confident that on 4th of June, to be very honest, let's make it clear. I wanted to give a different picture of Mahua Moitra. You have seen the fiery side. I wanted to ask her as which one is your favorite speech? Well, then I realized it's there on Google. Speeches which have received the maximum number of votes obviously would be her choice as well. But I really wanted to see the insight of a politician. And especially at a time when women are being subjected to a lot of uncomfortable questions, this was just an attempt to give you a different side of Mahua Moitra. I think, did you enjoy the conversation, ma'am?
Yes, I had fun. Thank you. It was a little longer than I would have hoped, but
Well, which means the conversation was interesting.
thank you.
Thank you so much. So with video journalist Ronnie Shatra along with Shuman Gupta and Titash Mukherjee, this is Tamal Saha ending this campaign trail of Mahua Moitra here in Krishnanagar. Actually in Krishnanagar for News the Truth. Thank you so much.